November 30th, 2018. A business traveler checks his email over morning coffee when his screen floods with notifications. Marriott data breach, 500 million guests exposed. His stomach drops. Every hotel stay from the past 4 years, the anniversary in Paris, the Vegas conference. That weekend he told his wife he was in Denver. All of it stolen. But here's what nobody realizes yet. The hackers have been inside Marriott's system since 2014. 4 years, watching, recording, building files on diplomats, CEOs, spies. And the most terrifying part? Not a single stolen record ever appeared on the dark web. Not one. These weren't criminals looking for quick cash. Someone wanted to know where 500 million people sleep, and they got it. Who needs that kind of information? Why didn't they sell the data? March 2014. Inside Starwood Hotels and Resorts headquarters, an employee named Marcus opens what looks like a routine email, an invoice from a vendor. He clicks the attachment. Nothing happens, or so he thinks. In that microsecond, a remote access Trojan called Plug X silently burrows into Starwood's network, opening a back door. That's the equivalent of giving free access to your house to a smuggler. The intruders move like smoke. The first rule of digital breaking and entering: never touch anything for 72 hours. Just watch. Learn the patterns. Who logs in and when. Which servers talk to which. By day 4, they deploy their favorite toy, a tool called Mimikatz that sounds innocent but acts extracting passwords from system memory. Within minutes, they have what they came for: administrator credentials for user SYSADMIN. Think of it as stealing the hotel manager's master keycard. Suddenly, every door, every safe, every restricted area opens without question. The hackers don't search the place. They become the place. Starwood's guest reservation database processes 50,000 transactions every hour. Names, credit cards, passport numbers, and the hackers are logging every single data point while the victims have no idea they've been robbed. Starwood's own security team has been warning about this for months. The reservation system is a sitting duck, one engineer wrote in an internal memo just weeks before the breach. Anyone who gets in could stay forever. Those warnings sat unread in someone's inbox. The system stayed vulnerable. Ironically, while our hackers are settling in, a completely different group of attackers, unrelated Russian criminals, breaks into the same network and steals 54 credit card numbers. Starwood catches those amateurs 8 months later and thinks they've solved their security problem. They never realize the real predators are still inside, watching them celebrate their victory. By December 2015, the intruders have been residents for 21 months. They've collected 127 million records and counting. Christmas shoppers book holiday trips. Business travelers plan Q1 meetings. Every reservation creates another entry in the hackers' growing encyclopedia of human movement. But something massive is about to happen that will triple their access overnight. Starwood is hunting for a buyer. And the hackers? They're about to get a much, much bigger playground. But why did they choose hotels in the first place? And what happens when you try to merge two companies while criminals are literally living on your servers? September 23rd, 2016. In a Manhattan boardroom, Marriott CEO Arne Sorensen signs the papers that will haunt him forever. $13.6 billion for Starwood, the deal that creates the world's largest hotel empire. Champagne pops and executives shake hands. 30 floors below, a Marriott IT specialist named Rachel sends an email nobody will read. Has anyone done a deep security audit on Starwood's systems? The answer is yes. A rushed 48-hour review that found nothing because they were looking for financial fraud, not cybersecurity problems. The hackers, watching this corporate theater from inside Starwood's servers, must have laughed. Imagine the two biggest hotel chains joining together. That's Marriott and Starwood in late 2016. Marriott slashes 17% of Starwood's workforce. Efficiency measures, they call it. First to go? The entire Starwood cybersecurity team, the very people who built the reservation system, who knew its quirks, its vulnerabilities, its dark corners, all handed pink slips by Thanksgiving. Sarah Martinez, Starwood's lead security architect for 8 years, clears her desk on a Friday. By Monday, her admin access is transferred to a Marriott employee who's never seen Starwood's code. The hackers now have better knowledge of the system than its new owners. The integration plan reads like a horror movie script if you know what's behind. The phase 1 is maintain separate systems for 18 months. The translation? Leave the infected Starwood network running untouched. The phase 2 is gradual data migration starting Q3 2017, which means keep feeding the hackers fresh data for another year. Every decision, made for good business reasons, extends the breach. Every month of careful integration is another month of hemorrhaging guest data. By early 2017, the hackers have access to both legacy Starwood data and new Marriott bookings, flowing through the same poisoned pipeline. The numbers are staggering. Daily, the merged company processes 1.1 million reservations. The hackers take approximately 400,000 records per day. They can't grab everything without triggering alerts, so they're selective. Government email domains, passport entries, and corporate credit cards. They're building what intelligence agencies would later call targeting packages, complete lifestyle profiles of interesting individuals. You stayed at the Sheraton in Moscow? Tagged. You flew to Hong Kong 6 times last year? Flagged. Your company credit card shows defense contractor billing codes? Jackpot. Marriott's tech teams, meanwhile, are fighting different fires. The loyalty program integration alone costs $140 million. They're merging 30 different property management systems. They're standardizing Wi-Fi across 6,700 properties. Nobody's looking at the authentication logs showing sysadmin accessing databases at 3 a.m. Why would they? The hackers learned long ago to move during Marriott's planned maintenance windows. Their activity blends into the noise of legitimate system updates. It's like robbing a bank during a fire drill. Everyone's too distracted to notice. March 2018. The hackers have now been inside for 4 complete years. Their data collection has evolved from smash and grab to surgical precision. They're not just taking data anymore. They're curating it, cross-referencing guests who stay at multiple properties, building relationship maps of who travels together, creating timelines of sensitive trips. One intelligence analyst would later describe it as the most comprehensive human movement database ever stolen. But their luck is about to run out, because in trying to grab just a little bit more, they're about to make their first and only mistake. How does a 4-year invisible heist suddenly become visible? And why did the hackers risk everything for one final score? September 8th, 2018. Michael Torres, night shift at Marriott's Security Operations Center, is halfway through his 3rd coffee when his screen explodes in red. Alert after alert cascades down. Someone just pulled 17 gigabytes from the Starwood reservation database in 12 seconds. That's not a query. That's a heist in progress. Michael's hands shake as he types. The account making the request? Sysadmin, an administrator who was fired 2 years ago. His credentials should be dead. They're not just active, they're downloading everything. Michael hits the kill switch. System lockdown. All administrative access frozen. Then he makes the call that will change everything. We have a situation. Someone's in the Starwood system. They're taking everything. Within 9 minutes, Marriott's entire cyber incident response team is online. The CEO is woken up, the FBI is called, and for the first time in 1,460 days, the hackers realize they've been spotted. They try one last desperate grab, 4 gigabytes more, before Marriott's team cuts their connection forever. Marriott brings in Accenture's forensic team. Think CSI for computers. They find the rat Trojan, buried so deep it had root access to everything. They find Mimikatz' footprints across 17 servers. They find command and control beacons pinging to servers in Hong Kong. But the worst discovery comes when they discover a file with 73 gigabytes of compressed, encrypted data the hackers prepared for extraction. Marriott's team stares at it like a bomb they can't defuse. Whatever's in there represents 4 years of theft, and they can't even open it. The forensics team works 18-hour days. Coffee cups pile up. Marriages strain. They trace the intrusion back, step by agonizing step. The initial breach in March 2014. In November 2014, the administrator is compromised. On July 2015, the database access achieved. In January 2016, the encryption keys are stolen. The hackers grabbed the keys to decrypt credit card numbers. Storing them on the same server was like taping your PIN to your ATM card. Later in September 2016, the Marriott merger. The timeline reads like a medical chart for a patient who didn't know they were dying. Finally, in October 15, 2018, after 5 weeks of brute force computing, they crack the encrypted file. The room goes silent. Inside, there are 500 million guest records, 327 million with full names, addresses, phone numbers, emails, 20 million passport numbers in plain text, 8.7 million encrypted credit cards. Except the hackers also stole the encryption keys, making them essentially naked. 5.25 million unencrypted passport numbers, just sitting there like social security numbers at a yard sale. The hack isn't just big, it's civilization scale. If printed, the stolen data would create a stack of paper reaching the International Space Station. But here's what makes everyone's blood run cold. The data is organized, not randomly grabbed, methodically sorted. Government employees in one folder, Fortune 500 executives in another, foreign nationals with U.S. visa entries cataloged separately. This isn't how criminals organize data to sell. This is how intelligence agencies organize data to analyze. Marriott's general counsel picks up the phone and calls a number he's never dialed before. The CIA's corporate security liaison. We need to talk about who might want a database of where every important person in the world sleeps. The boardroom meeting that night lasts until 3 a.m. Do they go public immediately, wait for more information? The lawyers want time. The PR team wants control. But the California breach notification law gives them 72 hours from discovery, and they're already at hour 68. CEO Arnie Sorensen makes the call. We tell everyone tomorrow morning. The press release is drafted 14 times, each version trying to explain how 500 million people just had their lives stolen without sounding like the corporate disaster it is. In 12 hours, Marriott will face the world's fury. But first, someone needs to answer a question nobody wants to ask. Who steals 500 million people's travel records and doesn't sell them? And why did 0 stolen credit cards ever appear on the dark web? The press release drops. Within 17 seconds, it's the top story on every major news site. Marriott hacked, 500 million guests exposed. Your phone buzzes, your mother texts, "Weren't you at a Westin last month?" Your boss emails, "Is our corporate account compromised?" Your spouse asks the question everyone's thinking, "What do they know about us?" The answer is everything. Where you've been, who you've met, when you travel. Marriott's call center, built to handle 10,000 calls daily, receives 47,000 in the first hour. The website crashes from 16 million simultaneous visitors. Beth from Portland can't remember if she used Marriott for her divorce hiding trips. James in London realizes his affair just became hackable evidence. Sarah in DC, a CIA analyst, understands immediately that her cover is blown. Every vacation to Berlin, Prague, Moscow now mapped in enemy hands. But the weirdest part? No stolen credit cards surface, not a single one. Dark web marketplaces, where stolen data usually appears within 48 hours, show nothing. 0 Marriott passports for sale. No identity theft rings bragging about their score. It's as if the thieves stole Fort Knox and left the gold untouched. The lawsuits arrive like an avalanche. By December 3rd, 3 days after disclosure, Marriott faces 31 class action suits. The number reaches 100 by Christmas. Lawyers calculate damages, $12.5 billion if every victim claims the maximum. One suit calls it the most reckless data security failure in corporate history. Another reveals Accenture was managing Starwood's IT security, spreading the legal carnage. But the most damaging lawsuit comes from Marriott's own shareholders, who claim executives hid the breach's scope to protect stock prices. Internal emails surface, showing IT staff warnings from 2016. Starwood's security is a disaster waiting to happen. The disaster happened. Leadership didn't listen. Then comes the bombshell nobody expects. December 11, 2018. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo holds an emergency press conference. The Marriott breach, he says, measuring each word, was Chinese intelligence. The room erupts. This wasn't cybercrime. It was espionage. The New York Times headline screams, "China turned hotels into surveillance weapon." Suddenly, every government employee who ever stayed at a Marriott property realizes they've been mapped. The pattern becomes clear when analysts connect the dots. In 2014, China hacks Office of Personnel Management. 22 million government employees exposed. In 2015, Anthem insurance breach. 80 million health records stolen. Then in 2017, the Equifax hack. 145 million credit profiles grabbed. And in 2018, the Marriott revelation. 500 million travel histories captured. It's not random theft. It's a systematic collection. China is building what experts call a database of databases, a complete map of American society. Your government record tells them who you are. Your credit report shows how you live. Your insurance reveals your weaknesses. And Marriott tells them where you go. Combined, it's a surveillance state's dream. Total information awareness about enemies, allies, and everyone in between. Britain strikes first. January 2019, a £99 million fine proposed, the largest in UK history. Marriott failed at the most basic level, the Information Commissioner declares. Europe follows. The GDPR violations could mean 4% of global revenue, potentially $1 billion. US states pile on. New York wants $900 million, and California demands answers. The stock market delivers its own verdict. Marriott drops 5.6% in one day, erasing $4 billion in value. But money is just numbers. The real cost is trust. Hilton runs ads about security you can count on, and Hyatt emails customers about their superior protection. March 2019. Marriott's CEO faces the Senate Homeland Security Committee. Senator Josh Hawley doesn't hold back. You bought a company. You fired their security team. You let hackers live in your system for 4 years, and you want us to believe this won't happen again? Sorensen's response reveals the truth nobody wants to hear. Senator, we're not equipped to fight nation-states. No hotel company is. And he's right. When your enemy has unlimited resources, 1,000-person hacking teams, and zero fear of prosecution, how do you win? But that admission opens another door. If China did this, why? What's the strategic value of knowing where people sleep? And why is the US government more worried about this breach than any other? January 2020. The Justice Department indicts 4 members of China's People's Liberation Army Unit 61398, the same cyber warfare division linked to hacking Google, RSA Security, and Lockheed Martin. Marriott is listed as Victim Company 1. The hackers' real names are published: Wang Qian, Shu Ke, Liu Lei, Wu Zhiyong. Their photos circulate, young men in military uniforms who will never see the inside of an American courtroom. The message is symbolic. We know who you are, we know what you did, we can't touch you, but we're watching. China wanted to know which Americans to recruit, blackmail, or eliminate. Think about it. You know a diplomat stays at the Beijing Sheraton every March. You know they travel alone. You know their room preferences, their loyalty number, their personal email. Now you can arrange chance encounters, plant listening devices before they arrive, assign attractive strangers to the hotel bar. The KGB used to call this trajectory analysis, mapping someone's life to find the perfect moment to strike. Marriott handed China 500 million trajectories. Meanwhile, Marriott transforms itself from the inside out. New Chief Information Security Officer hired from the Pentagon, $200 million cybersecurity overhaul, quantum encryption for sensitive databases, biometric access controls, 24/7 threat hunting teams, the Starwood reservation system, that zombie network that enabled everything, finally murdered and buried, every employee retrained, every password reset, every system rebuilt. It's corporate chemotherapy, killing everything to save the company. By 2021, Marriott claims to have the most secure reservation system in hospitality. Maybe, but that's like saying you have the strongest lock after the thieves already made copies of everything inside. Meanwhile, the settlements trickle in like a slow bleed. UK fine negotiated down to £18.4 million. US states accept $52 million. Class action lawsuits settled for undisclosed amounts. The total cost by 2023 is an estimated $280 million in direct expenses, plus untold billions in lost revenue and trust. But here's the kicker. Marriott's cyber insurance covered most of it. The company that enabled the largest travel surveillance operation in history paid less than the cost of renovating a single luxury property. Crime pays, but negligence pays out through insurance claims. The breach changes everything and nothing. Hotels still collect your data. Governments still hack each other. Your passport number floats in some intelligence database you'll never see. But the next time you check into a hotel, hand over your credit card, share your passport. Remember this, you're not just booking a room, you're creating a data point in humanity's largest surveillance network. Every hotel, every airline, every rental car, all collecting, storing, vulnerable. The Marriott breach wasn't the end. It was proof of concept. If China could live undetected in one system for 4 years, where else are they right now? Who else is watching? Your smart TV? Your fitness tracker? Your coffee maker with Wi-Fi? The real lesson isn't about Marriott, it's about us. We traded our privacy for points, our security for convenience, our secrets for free breakfast. The hackers didn't break down the door. We held it open, one reservation at a time. And somewhere in Beijing, in a building you'll never see, on servers you'll never access, sits a database with your name, where you've been, who you've met, when you travel. Marriott proved that corporate security is only as strong as the company you're about to buy. But if you think having your travel history exposed to foreign spies is terrifying, wait until you see what happened when hackers decided to expose something even more personal: the secret affairs of 37 million married users. The Ashley Madison breach didn't just steal data, it destroyed lives, ended marriages, and led to suicides. The hackers called themselves the Impact Team, and they had one message: we'll burn you down. Click here to watch how a website built on guaranteed secrecy became the internet's most devastating public shaming, and why the company's promise to delete your data was the biggest lie of all.